When I first noticed Morgan during that video conference call, it felt like the screen lit up just a bit brighter. There she was, her striking blue eyes fixated on something off-screen, while her loose waves of brown hair framed her face perfectly. Her high-pitched voice, carrying a hint of cheerfulness, reminded me of Amy Adams. It wasn't often that a voice made my heart skip a beat, but hers did. All right, everyone. Let's go over the client feedback from last quarter. She started, her eyes meeting the camera every so often. The way she spoke, so confident and engaging, kept drawing me in. I'd catch myself zoning out, focusing entirely on her, pretending I wasn't. After that meeting, our interactions began innocently enough. Work-related chats led to casual banter. She'd slide in the occasional hot stuff or babe making my face flush as I leaned closer to the screen. It was thrilling and new. Emily, my wife, and I had drifted into a comfortable but often tedious routine, leaving little room for the kind of electricity Morgan was stirring in me. "How's Emily doing?" she asked one day, out of the blue. "She's good," I replied, caught off guard. "Busy with work," as always. Morgan nodded sympathetically. "James and I are the same. Sometimes I wonder if we're just housemates now," she sighed, the smile fading from her face for an instant. As weeks turned into months, our chats grew deeper. We shared frustrations about work, jokes about our boss, and bits about our personal lives that no one else at the office knew. She confided in me that her marriage was rocky, and it was hard to ignore the feeling that mine wasn't much better. During one call, she glanced my way and laughed, that sparkling, infectious laugh. "Derek, you don't mind if I say I sometimes look at you during these meetings, do you?" I felt my heart pound. That confession hit home more than I'd like to admit. "Honestly, I do the same," I said, my nerves tingling. We exchanged a knowing smile. The term work wife started to take on a whole new meaning, a line crossed with every flirtatious chat. Morgan wasn't just a colleague anymore, she was someone who made me feel noticed, desired even. The thrill of looking forward to her messages, the secretive glances during video meetings, it was all consuming. And so our interactions became something beyond the professional world. A connection built on pixels and flirty texts, yes, but one that felt more real than anything I had felt at home in a long time. I sat on the edge of my hotel bed, staring at my phone. The annual company conference in Texas was just days away, and I couldn't stop thinking about meeting Morgan in person. I hadn't even packed yet, but my mind was racing with all the possible scenarios. It wasn't like I had any clear expectations, but the mere thought of finally seeing her outside of video chats had my pulse quickening. I recalled the playful suggestion from Morgan during one of our late-night text exchanges. "Better have your safe word ready," she had teased. It was the kind of comment that kept our conversations charged with energy and, if I'm honest, a touch of anxiety. What did she mean by that? It hinted at potential mischief, something my routine marriage with Emily severely lacked. The day finally arrived. The flight to Texas was uneventful, giving me too much time to think. What if this all backfired? What if meeting in person ruined the magic of our flirtation? Or what if it took us somewhere I wasn't prepared to go? Getting off the plane, I crammed into a taxi with some of the other conference attendees. Small talk filled the ride, a mix of industry jargon and polite jokes. But my mind kept drifting back to Morgan. Was she already at the hotel? Had she thought about me as much as I had about her during the flight? That evening, the company organized a kickoff dinner. The hotel's dining hall buzzed with chatter, the clinking of glasses, and the softer undertones of business networking. I entered the room, scanning faces until I saw her. Morgan. She wore a stunning black dress that highlighted her figure in a way the video calls never could. Our eyes met, and she gifted me a smile that spoke of unspoken secrets. My heart thudded in my chest as I made my way to her, careful to greet other colleagues on my journey over. Finally, I reached her spot. We exchanged pleasantries, both playing our part in front of the crowd, though the air between us sizzled with unspoken tension. Later at dinner, Morgan and I found ourselves at opposite ends of the long table. Despite the distance, our eyes met several times, each glance creating a charged atmosphere that made my throat dry and my palms sweat. Conversations with my other colleagues felt like they droned on forever, while Morgan's laughter from across the table kept pulling me back. After dessert, someone proposed continuing the evening at a bar nearby, and a small group, including Morgan and me, decided to join. We ended up at this cozy joint with eclectic decor and a decent playlist. I nursed a whiskey, trying to appear casual while stealing glances at Morgan. She mingled easily, laughing with everyone and occasionally catching my eye with a knowing look. As the night wore on, people started trickling out. Before long, I found myself standing by the restroom, adjusting my shirt, when Morgan bumped into me. "Oops, sorry," she said, her eyes twinkling as she lightly touched my arm. "Didn't mean to grab your butt there. Or maybe I did." My face must have turned beet red. No harm done, I managed to stammer, injecting as much coolness into my voice as possible. The skin where she touched felt like it was on fire. "Don't leave too soon," she whispered before slipping back into the crowd. Minutes turned into hours, and eventually it was just the die-hards left: Morgan, myself, and a few others. But soon even they began to peel away, and before I knew it, the bar near the hotel was almost empty. I stayed near the counter, weighing my options, when my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "Are you still here?" I stared at the screen, my pulse quickening. Another message followed almost instantly, with just a room number. Walking down the dimly lit hotel corridor, I could feel my pulse quickening. My fingers clenched the phone in my pocket. The message with the room number burned into memory. Room 412. The scent of carpet cleaner and faint smell of laundry detergent made me more aware of every step, each one feeling heavier than the last. I stopped in front of the door. Took a deep breath, tried to steady my nerves. Typical that I could disassemble and reassemble any gadget, but here, with real-life complications, my hands shook. I knocked softly twice. The door swung open, and there she was. Morgan, looking effortlessly stunning in a casual, flowing dress. That captivating smile of hers made my chest tighten. She motioned for me to come in, closing the door behind me. The room was tidy, the soft glow from a bedside lamp casting a warm hue. "Hey," Morgan greeted, voice like honey, sweet and thick. Hey that came out more breathless than intended. We moved toward the bed, sitting down side by side. The mattress dipped slightly under our weight, bringing us closer together. So she started, brushing a stray lock of hair behind her ear. "How are you finding the conference so far?" We exchanged small talk, my words feeling automatic, disconnected from my thoughts swirling with a million desires. Our thighs almost touched, a fraction of space separating us. Through the corner of my eye, I caught her glances, seeing the same mix of eagerness and hesitancy mirrored back at me. I couldn't hold back anymore. Leaning in, I whispered into her ear, voice low and gruff. "Morgan, you are the thing I confessed," each word deliberate, dripping with the truth of months spent in tantalizing flirtation. Being in your room right now feels surreal. Her breath hitched, a soft intake that spurred me on. I noticed the slight flush rising on her neck, the way she tilted her head, granting me more access. My lips grazed her earlobe with each syllable, kissing the space barely inches away. "Derek," she whispered, her voice breaking the silence, laden with unspoken desire. I moved my hand to her leg, feeling the smooth fabric under my fingertips. Her breathing grew heavier, synchronizing with my own rapid heartbeat. The world outside ceased to matter. Every focus narrowed down to the warmth of her skin under my touch, the scent of her perfume enveloping us. I've never experienced a silence so loud, a moment so charged. "Do you think about this?" I asked, teasing her, my voice low and husky. "Yes," she softly whispered. "And your husband? Our colleagues? Do they have any idea what we're doing?" Her response was a whimper, a mixture of guilt and fun. She shifted, climbing on top of me, and started kissing. I couldn't resist her any longer. "Keep the dress on," I murmured. We started our desired adult dance. "This is amazing," I managed to say. "Nothing like my husband," she panted. "You're so much better." Her words, her affirmations, they pushed me further into the haze of dance. Not ready to end this electric moment, I stopped. She went to her knees. This sight of her and eyes shining with desire was enough for some time. But I needed more. I pulled back, lifting her to her feet and turning her around so could dance on our fours like a dog's. It was perfect. "How does it feel to dance with me?" I asked. "So much better," she gasped out. "Oh God, Derek, you're—" I fought hard against the mounting pressure inside me, gritting my teeth. Timing here was everything. I managed to withdraw, feeling the cool air hit me while it ended. You look beautiful like this." Her smile was radiant even amidst the mess, a satisfied purr escaping her lips. It felt like we had stepped outside of time, existing only in this bubble of carnal release and fleeting connection. The next few months blurred past. Our chats and video calls became the highlight of my days. Whenever her name popped up on my screen, a rush of excitement coursed through me. The daily grind felt easier to bear with the promise of her voice, her laughter, her flirtatious teasing. We found sneaky moments for encounters, small windows where it felt like the rest of the world paused. Our connection grew, though, in the shadow of secrecy and silent pacts. It thrived. A year after that first, unforgettable night, it was the same conference, different city. Another stolen night where everything felt new yet familiar. But life, predictably unpredictable, prompted changes. I left the company, and slowly, inevitably, our interaction faded. I never knew if it meant as much to her as it did to me. But the memories lingered, our shared glances, hurried texts, the way she screamed my name. Those moments remain etched in my mind, a testament to what once was.